Today's topic is anger. And many of you have actually been writing in the last few weeks and asking about why so much anger, right? Given what's going on the planet, it's really not that surprising, right? With the environment, with politics, with social transformation. It's no real surprise that we have bigger emotions flowing through us than perhaps we are used to. So I want to chat a little bit about what anger can teach us. Glennon Doyle has so much to say about this. If you have not read Untamed, her book Untamed is phenomenal. Read the chapter called Let It Burn. I must have listened to it 7 times. But anger comes to literally burn through ambiguity, confusion, frustration, so that we can get more clear. So that we can get more clear on our path as leaders, as entrepreneurs, as moms, as friends, as women on the planet. And if anger didn't come, how else would our body wake us up in that precise way? And I don't know about you, but I'd rather feel angry than depressed, anxious, right? Those two are sort of soul crushing. But anger has life in it. And so rather than making it wrong, let's talk about how to use it. So I was in a situation recently where a guy I was dating canceled plans on me 3 times within the same week. And each time had its own understandable set of circumstances. But by the time the third situation rolled around, I noticed this flaring rage, my boundaries had been crossed and it was no longer okay. And I had all kinds of symptoms. I was up in the night twitching and I was having conversations with him in my head. And, anytime you're having conversations with somebody in your head, it's reason to pay attention, right? Can you guys relate to this? And, the anger is an indicator that my sort of capacity to be flexible has hit a limit, because we all have all of these different parts of ourselves. And I was talking to a girlfriend about this and, she was like, yeah, I've got the accommodating part of myself, the understanding one, the flexible one, the one that is almost just in some ways relieved to have a night to myself. And then there's the core, I'm valued and my time is valuable. And what I want in a relationship isn't actually happening right now. And whether that's happening in a romantic relationship, whether that's happening with one of your team members or with a client, there's oftentimes a threshold where we sort of tip over into just, pure unbridled anger. Now, here's the thing is that for me, anger usually is here to show me where I need to set better boundaries, where I need to speak up for myself. I know when I first started my business, anger would come up when I had to learn about technology. When I had to learn about website updates and Facebook algorithms, I would just get angry. And there was a feeling of, why does this have to be so hard? And I remember a friend of mine telling me, anger is side by side with passion. What you're passionate about is going to have this flip side of angst and that angst around, the fear of not being able to get this gift out into the world. And so, anger almost pushes things through, it pushes things through into manifestation. On the emotional scale, there's a whole scale of emotions that Abraham talks about, Esther Hicks talks about. It's depression, anxiety, anger. And then on the other side of anger is frustration. And then that is the doorway to action. And action is the doorway to feeling productivity, moving the energy, starting to feel a sense of fulfillment, even contentment. So without anger, without being willing to work our way up that emotional scale, we will end up trapped in depression. And the other piece about anger, especially for entrepreneurs, is that anger is an indicator around what you're passionate about. Like for me, I get so angry when I hear about women getting paid less than men. I get so angry when I meet an incredible healer who's struggling to pay the bills. I get so angry when I think about some of the professional, incredible, creative, talented women that I've met who are stuck in jobs they hate. I get downright angry. And so it took a while of like noticing the patterns of my anger to be like, oh, yeah, there's a reason why I'm angry. It's because I'm supposed to be doing something about that. So for those of you that are watching on video, throw me a comment in the comment thread about what makes you angry. Let me know what makes you angry and what has it taught you? Because anger actually travels along the same energetic channels in the body as creativity. And so if we suppress our anger, guess what else we are suppressing, right? And we need our creativity. We need that passion. We need that juice, rather than asking for things to be easier. I invite you to ask to know your own strength, because you have so much energy and voltage available to you and flowing through you that you probably don't even realize. There's been humans that have and scientists that have hypothesized that a certain amount of human bodies can literally light up a city with just how much pure Shakti, energy, chi we have flowing through our bodies. And yet we move through our days oftentimes frustrated, stressed, feeling like we're exhausted, complaining. And there's this saying that instead of labeling stress as like this thing that we have to avoid that's so bad and evil, and we're scared to work so hard, we're scared to work too hard because we don't want to tap our adrenals, like that whole conversation, right, can really be life and soul sucking. One of my friends used to say, what if you tried out eating stress for breakfast? Just like this willingness to just sort of consume life. And like the things that oftentimes feel like a little anxious on me, it's just action that I need to take. It's just opportunities that I want to say yes to. It's just a new relationship that I want to create with my to-do list, because it'll all get done, right? How do I shift my energy? How do I run down to the beach and back? How do I, cuddle my cat and, stomp around outside for a minute or put on my favorite dance song, so that I can go about my business with the energy that I choose? Because that's the whole point of being an entrepreneur. We didn't become entrepreneurs to build ourselves another job and to complain about our existence. We became entrepreneurs to create our own reality. And so often the stuff that's on my to-do list is actually it's an opportunity where I get to show up and create. And so why am I grumbling about that? And I've had to check myself so many times, because the grumbles are oftentimes just leftover habitual patterns, from childhood, like watching my parents grumble about stuff. And, what would give me the right to wake up on a Monday morning and leap out of bed and be like, I get to make a video today about anger. I love this topic. It's exciting. So, right? When we have these keys to unlock the kingdom of the energy in our body and the emotional intelligence to translate what's happening into a force for good, we're unstoppable, right? That's why we're here. Human potential to create in our businesses and to ask for what we deserve, and to ask for the sale, and to figure out the technology to go do the video series on social media, or to go get that update made to our website. It's all figure outable. And it's oftentimes a little bit of that grind or anger or grit that kind of pushes through manifestation. So, growl through it. I love growling. It's this. My friends tease me because I'm oftentimes growling and grunting. And it's like this energy release of primal just expression of just, let's get that energy out. So if you're with somebody, just turn to them. And if you're alone and you feel comfortable enough, just open up your mouth and make a crazy face and just let the energy out. Nice big inhale. Ah! Yeah, breathing back in, moving the body, right? Like, just how does that feel? Like, for me, I'm just more clear, more grounded. And the nervous system actually enjoys hearing your own voice. It's very reassuring to the nervous system just to hear your own voice expressing that which is inside of you. It's like this feeling of alignment, clearing out the channel so you can be the creative flow that you came in to be. Let's talk about just a couple more ways to express that anger when you feel like it's trapped, because sometimes it does get trapped, right? First of all, I have like a thin yoga mat that I roll up, and I go in a corner of my living room where I have a hardwood floor. And I love just taking that yoga mat and just boom, slapping, boom on the floor. It's like this boom that just, the energy is just like, it's just gone through that impact. In fact, sometimes sprinting on the pavement will actually release a lot of extra angst inside of me. I don't run on the pavement for very long because it's hard on my joints, but like a short sprint on the pavement just to like smack that angst out of my body is an incredible tool. And then it's really important to share what's frustrating you with those who have earned the right, those who have what Brene Brown says is earned the right to hold your bigger emotions, your bigger vulnerabilities. Somebody who's not going to judge you, somebody who's not going to tell you to stop complaining, to actually set up the container where you can vent consciously. Mama Gina has a ton of amazing practices that will teach you how to do that. But like that's the opportunity to clean yourself out so you can show up for your clients, for your team if you have one. You can show up and do the important action steps of building your business because, it's not easy. It's not easy to figure out all the technology. It's not easy to figure out what the heck you're selling, how to describe it, how to ask for it, how to make the videos. Many of you are flexing so many new muscles when you're launching these businesses. And I promise you, it's worth it. If this is what you want, if you want to wake up to a business every day that you love, that stretches you, this is the path. You're on it. The passion for your business that you had when you first got the idea or first started it, that passion is going to wax and wane, but those of you who are going to be wildly successful are the ones who will figure out how to keep walking through even when you're not feeling totally lit up, how to move the energy so that you can refresh yourself, and how to continue to keep it fun and interesting for yourself so that you can really enjoy each day, because it doesn't have to be a struggle or a push. You can make the hustle fun. But what I always remember, and I love Tony Robbins for this, I always remember that when the big emotions come, I'm a surfer, and I can either choose to let that wave crash over me and pummel me, or I can choose to paddle, take a breath, and do my damnedest to stand up on that surfboard on top of the wave and let it carry me. Those are my choices. And Tony Robbins says, the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. And when that anger comes, my job is to start paying even closer attention, because there is one in me who wants to get my focus on it. There is something happening that is not okay in this body temple. And that, my friends, is your biggest job in life, is to pay attention to what's happening in here, in this incredible container of your soul. Being a leader on the planet is the biggest honor anyone could say yes to. Being chosen by the universe, which I believe we all are, for different reasons. And for those of you that are chosen to bring a message, there's no greater honor. And even though it feels like you are not supported at times, I'm here to remind you that the support is boundless, that you have invisible guidance all around you, that there are communities and mentorship waiting to guide you and support you when you are ready. And I'm here to remind you that your clients are waiting for you, whatever you're going through, whether it's anger, depression, frustration, joy, ecstatic bliss, excitement, whatever you're going through, your clients are going to be served by you tuning in, clearing out, so that you can be the vessel of creativity and impact that you are meant to be. And that's where all the money comes from. You know, if we suppress our anger, we suppress our creativity, and creativity is actually the very thing that we need to create revenue. And so, my dear sisters, your clients are waiting for you. The money is waiting for you. The impact, the influence, the income, right on the other side of you being with yourself, moving the energy and getting back into action so that you can show up and take the bold income producing action steps that are required for you to get out there and find your clients. Thank you for being the very best part of Women Rocking Business, and I'll see you on the other side. Mwah. And if you got value from this episode, I invite you to hit the subscribe button so that we can get you weekly business trainings in your inbox to help you grow your impact and your income the women's way. Head over into the Women Rocking Business Sisterhood Facebook group and introduce yourself there, because women go so much further when we go together. Just click the button to subscribe, and we will see you on the other side.